Good morning, it's Devorah, InStory live, Shofar edition. I should mention if you're interested in doing Facebook Lives, you might notice one little difference. I'm not wearing lipstick. There's a couple little tips to do Facebook Live. Keep it simple, keep it real. So I've got my nice necklaces that my husband makes for me. I'm wearing my hat because that's kind of a spiritual Jewish thing, since I'm blowing the shofar and doing something that has a deeper spiritual Jewish resonance. And usually I wear lipstick. I don't put on a lot of makeup. I don't put on any makeup, actually, if I'm being honest. And but I do usually wear lipstick because that's the medium. It's a little brighter, lightens up things. I'm good with a little bit, but it turns my shofar red. So for this shofar blowing phase, I'm not doing that. And the reason that I'm saying all this is because a lot of people say to me, oh, I know I should do Facebook Live, but I don't really feel comfortable. And so it's fun to do Facebook Live by picking something you love. So Pat, I see you're here. You could bring some dogs on with you and do Facebook Live. People would really love that. And you can also do Facebook Live when you're just somewhere interesting in the moment. Bring people into the moment with you. And think about who you're connected with in this little Facebook world and think of them. So I don't think of having 1 million people watching this. I'm hoping 1 or 2 people will be touched by this moment that will light up a moment for them and inspire them. So right now Pat's watching live, so that's for you. If you're watching and recording, you'll pull in what you need. So I'm gonna blow the shofar, but I also like to have something else I'm thinking about. So today I want us to have the theme of gratitude. Right, so it's normal. Hi Janice. So it's normal to be a little bit scared to do Facebook Live. So one of the things I recommend when you're practicing is if you're in a group, any kind of private Facebook group, you can try it there first. Like I have women in my InStory group or my Reveal group, which Janice is in that. They can do Facebook Live and it's just for us, which is a great way to practice. And you can also do it and then just not post it. So have courage. It's fun to do Facebook Live. And I'm like not about doing things that are perfect. A lot of times things don't work out and you do it anyway. You show up and you expand. My whole thing, my whole year program, I call it going through the process of what I call shift, shape, and share. Right? We need to share our creativity and our vision, our light, our joy. Okay, so today the theme is gratitude and a little tiny tool. So if something is challenging or bothers you or irritates you or it just comes up, and I don't mean like the hugest thing that's ever happened to you in the world kind of thing. I mean, those daily little annoying things. So what I find now is I'm kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, wait a minute, you don't have to stay here. And so one totally simple little process is just smile. I know this sounds really silly, but literally physically smile. Kelly, Melendi, hi honey, hi Eileen. Just smile, smile. It sounds so silly, but sometimes if I'm like a little annoyed about something and I just smile, it just makes a crack in that energy. And then it can shift to gratitude. So gratitude, as we all know, is a super tool. It's a superpower tool to shift your energy. And a lot of the work I do and all my wonderful clients, past, present, and future are here, know that learning how to shift is one of the most fundamental tools that we inspirational leaders have to master. So, because stuff happens. So the shofar, which I'm going to blow, I didn't really think about it like this, but this is a master tool of shifting your energy, right? I didn't think about it like that, but being able to shift out of an old pattern, out of a negative energetic state is a super important thing to do. And it is part of what distinguishes leaders, spiritual leaders and thought leaders and creative leaders and all of that from everybody else. It's why we can lead, because we can get back up and not stay down. I also, I have been experimenting lately with listening to speakers who are like not already in my playbook. I ended up by, I don't know, somehow listening to a commentator named Glenn Beck, and my husband said, dear, he's a very extreme conservative. I said, really? He's so beautiful in how he speaks, and interviewed a rabbi I already knew and respected, and he interviewed someone who wrote a book called Love Your Enemies, all about leading with love. I thought, well, that's just blowing my stereotype right here. I just love to blow your stereotypes also, to listen to people who are not already sitting inside your camp with you. And the idea of being able, this is a very Jewish view, which is to be able to argue a point of view or an idea with someone and still love and respect them. What a concept. I just love that. We have that as like a deep teaching, that what is an argument for the sake of heaven. And we have these two rabbis called Hillel and Shammai, and they argued on like every point. But our tradition records both their points of view. They respected each other. Their families were connected. They loved and respected each other. And they completely disagreed on many, many things. And I just love that. I really love that so much. That ability to love and respect someone who has a very different point of view. You know, what if we honor the highest part of people and then listen to what they have to say? So that really blew my mind yesterday. I listened to Glenn Beck interview Arthur Brooks. Oh my gosh, it was so mind-blowing. I just couldn't believe it. They were so thoughtful. So I just appreciate that so much, as opposed to like yelling, shouting, and calling names, which I just so don't appreciate. And this is that kind of leadership shift, that we're not stuck in judgment and calling ourselves or other people's names, or being victimized or victimizing others, or blame, that whole blame shame game like thing, like just being able to shift. And I think that's what the shofar, this powerful ancient sound that has the idea of calling us to our biggest, brightest selves, awakening us to the light in our being, that I think is so important. So it was also this morning that simple moment of just smiling and then being so grateful for the gift of my life. And that's what I want for you. I want you to take a moment and use your tools. Remember, you have really powerful tools to shift your energy, so that whenever you find yourself in a moment where you're just off, or something happened, pick a tool and shift. So today, that's sort of what I want you to focus on, and still pick a do one thing. I'm still working on things from lifeworks.university, their blueprint work. And if you're interested in lifeworks.university, just message me. It's a super cool, new, interesting way of activating and using the book Think and Grow Rich. But I notice about myself that learning to do something new consistently takes a few tries. So that's my do one thing, is to do the consistent work for that today, and then, you know, hopefully that'll stick, so tomorrow I can pick a different do one thing. So what's your do one thing today? Okay, now I'm going to blow the shofar, and the idea of the sound of the shofar is just blowing open all that is blocked, blowing away what's in your way, the doubts, the fears, the clouds, over the bright light of your soul and your being, your strength, your vision. So this is to open you up and awaken you to connecting to that biggest, brightest, highest, wondrous self that you are. Okay, and remember, always the sounds are always this beautiful concept from whole to broken, back to whole. This is how we grow as humans. There it is. Okay, so you can. It's better if you stand up, but you don't have to. But close your eyes, get centered. Here we go. After the sound, always hold a place of expanded stillness. You can feel the expanded silence, the expansion of your soul, your being, the expansion of all that is possible for you as the human you are in the world today. So may you shine your light brighter, feel that all the blocks are removed from you and that you can be all who you are meant to be. With all my heart, sending you so much love. Remember always to go out in the world, share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. Bye, folks.